Hello all the crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite and welcome back to Pokemon White. I'm in the wrong city again, aren't I? It's a really good thing that I don't fly to the wrong city with the regularity in real life that I do in this game. God. Anyway, so, given that my game thinks it's winter right now, I figured that I would take the opportunity to come back to some of the previous locations which have, seasonal changes, and I can take that max potion there, I can take a rare candy here. This is Icarus City, so there's a couple big old snowdrifts which you can climb up and use to get to places which you couldn't get to otherwise. There are those items there. There are going to be up here, I'm gonna need to repel. Up here, next to the Dragon Spiral Tower, a nugget. Alright, fantastic, can sell that for money. The item maniac is right here. I really could just sell all those selling items right here while I'm here. And in the lower part of the city, down here, we've got some ice puzzles, and we've also got the ability to come back behind this hill, take up a tiny mushroom. Alright, really, is that all that was going off in my ear and making me excited all that time when I was here earlier? 2 tiny mushrooms, really? Game? Game really knows how to mess with me. Big mushroom, alright, at least it's not a tiny mushroom, at least that one's a big mushroom. And, more interestingly than that, there's this one remaining house here in Icarus City, which we haven't been into yet. And if I talk to the guy inside, oh, a member of Team Rocket I was, long time gone, but Team Rocket bye-bye a go-go. I, my region, went home. Make do, Team Rocket, I did, so myself I pledged. But now married I am. But now, okay, what, just decide where you're gonna put your verbs and stick with it, please. But now I married am. Now for Team Rocket, there's no time by me. But happy families, big hooray! Indeed. So the Team Rocket grunt with the funny accent. I always pictured him kind of with like a Russian accent in the games. I'm not entirely sure if I would really pick apart his speech, if that would hold up or not. But that Team Rocket grunt from Heart Gold and Soul Silver, who wasn't aware that Team Rocket disbanded. Ah, yes, the food of my people. The Team Rocket grunt who wasn't aware that Team Rocket disbanded and fought you anyway. Like, way the heck into the post-game. He's come over to Unova, started a new life, started a family. That's pretty cute. My dad used to have a cool job in a faraway region. Yeah, let's call it that. Cool job by... Yeah, I don't know how I can dress that one up. Anyway, so that's it for Icarus City, I believe. I don't think there's anything else that I can do here thanks to the snow. And I don't think there's anything out on, like, Route 8. Either, but if I were to go the other way into Twist Mountain, there's going to be, if I recall, quite a bit more in Twist Mountain, which you can do in the winter. So let's stop sliding around on the ice and let's go into Twist Mountain. And I'm going to want to repel, and I'm going to make myself do a second tour of Twist Mountain. And let's see, I don't really remember all that well where various things are, but I do know that if I come out into the central area, really, the entire place is just snowed in, and that really makes traversing it quite a lot easier. At least the bottom part. The upper layer, the upper path, you still got to go around some circles a bit. So we can pick up that item that's been taunting us, and I think there is, in particular, somewhere, is it like up towards the top? There is there's a whole room. Okay, fine. There's a whole room which you wouldn't have been able to go into without the help. That's an iron without the help of a, really? Alright, there's a lot of hidden items here. Stardust. There's an entire room up here which you would not have been able to go into without the help of the snowdrifts. And I think there's going to be like a couple of trainers in here, but I don't believe they're going to be very strong, because theoretically, if it was winter when you came through here first, you could have fought these like when you had like 6 gym badges. Alright, don't drop down there. So we have a trainer here. Who is on my team? I switched Argo out of my team in favor of Gummy to bring Gummy back. Because I actually didn't realize, I thought Gummy was level 60, so I left him in the PC for a while, but I do want to level everyone up, at least on my team, to about level 60 or so. before I really start dealing with like the end game trainers. I can fight this guy. I doubt I'm gonna get any good experience from you. Again, I could have fought you half the game ago. So despite the fact that you're an ace trainer, you've got a level 35 Krokorok here. I can probably take out this Krokorok in about 10 seconds with a return. Or a Fire Fang or an Ice Fang, or maybe not a Crunch because that's a resisted hit. But Crocodile is gonna go down. I'm gonna gain some experience. Palpitoad is up next. That's another middle stage evolution. Can use Return again. Palpitoad is, in all likelihood, going to go down. Alright, I wasn't entirely sure about that because Palpitoad is a little bulky and Gummy's been doing a lot of dying recently, but nevertheless. Clang is up, so the middle stage of the Clink Clang and Kling Clang family. Gonna use Fire Fang on that because you resist Return. And Gummy's gonna gain next to no experience because, again, 20 levels lower. Alright, Ace Trainer Jordan. Let's see. If I toss the Douse Machine back on, is there anything else? That is going to be a TM90 substitute. Okay, I guess that's somewhat fitting. You can make the argument because this is like a substitute version of Twist Mountain that only shows up in the winter. Anyway. And is that all that there is for me in here? I think there is. I think that is. I don't think there's anything else to do in Twist Mountain up here in the winter. Repel's effect wore off, that's just as well. And I'm trying to remember, I don't think there's any other parts of the game where things really change in a major way in winter. Alright, for this next bit, I had a bit of a brain fart, and I flew to Mistralton City out of Twist Mountain, and then only afterwards I realized that, like, I was about 2 steps away from it if I just exit Twist Mountain. Anyway, if you come up to Route, what is this, 7? I think this is Route 7. You'll find a bit of a heavy rainstorm, and this old lady will come out of her house if you pass by, and she'll make a comment on the weather about Pokemon and silly things like that. Yeah, what's going on here? Don't you go heading into the tall grass. That Pokemon might be too much for you. We'll catch a cold standing around talking in this wind and rain. Not much, but come stay in my home a spell. Alright, so this is going to initiate a little event, and I'm going to come and stop in for a bit of a visit while the thunder and lightning is pouring down outside. Not something that you see very often during the winter, I have to say, but video game logic, what do you want? Even a young'un like yourself will catch a cold if you get soaked in that cold rain. Sit right down and have some soup, why don't you? I do like me some soup. That's nice. A young'un like you shouldn't be shy. In the Unova region, you see, there's a Pokemon called Thunderous that creates thunderstorms. It flies around the region and lets loose wild winds and crashing lightning. Have some soup now, it'll warm you up. I feel like this is being forced upon me all of a sudden. Jam-packed with healthy vegetables. Ah yes, minestrone. Can never go wrong with that. The heavy rain is ruining the crops I've worked so hard to raise. What a troublesome Pokemon. I thought I would try to catch it, but it flies around so fast even when I thought I'd found it, it just flew right away. In one day, it can make a lap around the entire Unova region. In the mornings, it's in the south, and in the evenings, it's in the north. It shows up here in the evenings. Interesting. If I leave your house... Hello? What a storm. Apparently it's that Pokemon's doing. So that's our introduction to Thundurus and Tornadus. It'll be Tornadus in Pokemon Black, Thundurus in Pokemon White. We could have done this as early as soon as we picked up our 8th gym badge. I believe when we went into the gate to Route 10 for the first time, the attendant would have stopped us and told us that there's a weird, unusual thunderstorm on Route 7 or something like that, but I decided not to do that. I don't remember exactly where you said that the Pokemon was going to be in this time of day, but I'm going to fly over to Nimbasa City, deal with the music for about 2 seconds. Yes, I flew here on purpose this time. And I'm going to run into the gate, and if you run into the gate and check this little news ticker that I've been mostly ignoring up to this point in the game, you will see a couple different notes. You'll see the time, the date. Route 18, a very unusual thunderstorm is happening. Okay, so I need to go to Route 18. That'll tell you where the roaming Pokemon of this game has headed off to. So if I, let's say, fly back to where we began, over here in Nuvema Town. and head off to Route 18 down at the end. If only I was playing Pokemon Black, I could come back to my mom and say, I'm sorry for making my room look like a tornado hit it, but as penance, I'm going to run down an actual tornado now. But unfortunately, I'm playing Pokemon White, and I'm running down Thundurus and not Tornadus, and that joke is just so close to working. Alright, here we are on Route 18. It is getting very dark, very rainy, very fast. Let's see, yeah, the Dazzle Machine is going to be going off again because a couple of those items in the sand do regenerate when you come back. Firstly, because I actually can do this now. Oh, I don't have a rare bone? I thought I did have a rare bone. Did I sell already, or did I just not actually find one? Whatever. Let's see. So I'm gonna have to run around a bit and wait for my repel to wear off because Thundurus is gonna be like level, I want to say like 20-something, or 30-something rather, like 35 or so. And yeah, at this level, repels would keep him away from me. So we're going to be running around. We're going to be finding a wild Thundurus. 40. All right, actually a little higher of a level than I expected. And I have no interest in actually fighting roaming Pokemon. You will run away because you're just one of those Pokemon. I'm going to be using the Master Ball on this. That's not the Master Ball's pocket. This is the Master Ball's pocket, and I'm going to be throwing a Master Ball at you, and I'm just done with roaming Pokemon at this point in my life, and I dread the point in every Pokemon game where I feel compelled to go after them, and increasingly often I'm just not bothered to go after roaming Pokemon whenever I play a Pokemon game. It's really now, I only really do that when I'm like doing a Let's Play now. So I'm just going to throw a Master Ball at you. I'm going to give a nickname to this Thundurus. Do I have any friends who make me think Thunderbolts and Lightning very, very frightening? Alright, this one might actually take a bit of work, because unlike Kirim, I don't have any friends who come from a land known as like Thunderland or anything like that. Of course, Thundurus has to be one of the few gendered legendary Pokemon, which kind of throws a wrench in this, but just ignore that little blue circle with an arrow over it, and the icon up there. I don't have any friends that really come to mind when it comes to like Thunderbolts and Lightning or whatever, but the Kami trio, Thundurus, Tornadus, and Landorus, are I suppose you could call them genies, and genies are kind of like wizards. If you really stretch your imagination a little. And I have a friend named Yara who is, like me, a bit of a fan of wizards. Let's see, I think I'm done here. I can fly back to Castilia. I suppose, let's see, what do I want to do next? Like, I thought I was gonna do this, and then I selected Castilia City on the map, and then I second-guessed myself whether I wanted to do this, but I think I will. Alright, so let me deposit Mew in the PC. Let me come out with my full team of 6. And if I come back to the Game Freak room, to the Game Freak building, and go up to the 22nd floor, there are a couple guys here. There's this guy. Just gonna play the Team Rocket music. I guess that's appropriate considering how I started the video. Or, maybe not started, but what I did earlier in the video. And there's this guy, who you may recall said he was going to fight us if we became strong, so I guess I'm going to have to fight him now that I'm strong. I have my entire team of 6. Everyone has pretty much the same items that they had for a while, except I believe someone I gave the leftovers. I think Zach has the leftovers, since I finally acquired those in the Village Bridge. I do, however, want to go and see how many rare candy do I have? I have 6 rare candy. I should probably use a couple of these. Let's see. You I can bring up to level 60. You, I think I'll also bring Gummy up to level 60. Giga Impact. Interesting. Very interesting. 150 power, 90 accuracy, physical move, has a recharge turn. No thank you. I think I like the turn. And please stop. Should a move be deleted? I'm gonna have to think about this. No. Give up on learning it? Yes. I think they eventually corrected this in later games, but it would be really nice if I could just hit, like, B and then B again, and not learn the move, instead of going back and forth between, like, would you like to learn? Yes. Would you like to not learn? Yes. It's really annoying. Anyway, that's my last rare candy. And let's see. Alright, I guess that's about as good as it's gonna get for now. I'll lead with line, throw out some stealth rocks as usual. And then, we'll see how we go from there. I just noticed the time. I have to go in like a minute, so I'm actually going to have to pause this recording and come back to finish this video another day. BRB. So I may or may not have kind of gotten cold feet about fighting Game Freak Shigeki Morimoto now, and instead I may or may not have gone and spent a little bit of time training. And I would say level grinding, except that usually implies just like running back and forth across, you know, the wilderness doing random encounters endlessly, but I went to do some training in the big stadium and small court in Nimbasa City. I haven't really touched these so far. I'm pretty sure that I mentioned them when I ran past earlier in the game, but you can come to these locations every day, and you can fight a collection of trainers, and this is just a bit of supplemental experience that you can have available to you once you reach the Nimbasa City part of the game. These guys will start out pretty easy once you get to Nimbasa City for the first time, but every couple of gym badges you win, they'll get a little bit stronger, which makes it so that they more or less keep tracking you with you in terms of, you know, difficulty and all that, and it's just a good all-around place for training and that sort of thing. So I am going to do a little bit of a training montage, and I'm probably not going to show this entire span of just fighting stuff in Nimbasa City because that might be a little bit much, but I do want to call attention to it, and once my entire team is roughly in like the low level 60s or so, I'm going to be back and I'm actually going to fight that guy. Because I do, believe it or not, want this battle to go a little bit better than when I fought Cynthia as a joke when I first arrived in Undella Town. Right, so we're all done with that, and my entire team is now level 65. Alright, my entire team is now level 65. And that's, what, about 5 levels stronger than I was at the, like 2 minutes ago on video, like before I did that training montage, so we should be fine. Line is leading off as usual. After that, we'll see how it goes. Mr. Morimoto, oh, you've become strong, I can tell. Do you want to have a battle with me? Alright, let's begin. So, this is, we are going to have a battle against Game Freak themselves. This is going to be Mr. Shigeki Morimoto, or, Morimoto-san. I'm not good at honorifics. I'm bad enough at honorifics in English. Expecting me to do it in another language is maybe a little bit over my head. So you're gonna lead off Lipard. 3 guesses as to what you're gonna do, and the first 2 don't count. If you don't use a fake out to break my sturdy, yeah. Alright. That's a pain in the neck. I should still have my, Rocky helmet on though, so you did take some damage there. Let's see. So, speaking of hold items, let me just real quick run through and check to see if everybody has the same hold items that they did before. I'm pretty sure they did. That's a Rocky Helmet, Big Root, Leftovers on Zack, Razor Fang on Nightshade. That might be different, I don't remember, but being so fast, being basically the only fast Pokemon in my party, if I can occasionally induce a flinch, that'll be nice bonus. Gummy has the Expert Belt, and Argo has the Scope Lens for the occasional critical hit. I don't think Argo currently has any increased critical hit chance moves besides Slash, but we'll roll with that. So, I do not have my Stealth Rocks out. I would like to have my Stealth Rocks out. You're gonna use Grass Knot. That shouldn't KO me. Lipard's not very strong. I am weak to that. Okay, holy moly. That was a little bit scarier than I thought it was gonna be. Let's switch out. If you use Grass Knot again on, for example, Allison, I think Grass Knot is one of the few contact-making special attacks. So if you could induce yourself with a status by doing that, that would be great. I'm gonna get basically a free switch here, because that's gonna do so little damage. That did 7 damage, Allison. That's hilarious. Let's see, can I Sludge Bomb you? Lipard's a paper bag, so assuming... I know that's a contact move for a fact. Yeah, there goes your effect spore. You're gonna be poisoned, which is probably the least useful status that we could have here, but... let's see. You are... Does Morimoto carry full restores? I believe he does. He has a full restore. I was thinking about using Spore on that turn, just in case he did use a full restore, but I wasn't sure if he was going to, so I'm just going to use Giga Drain, get some of that HP back. The Big Root should come in handy here. Should be able to... Alright, that actually wasn't very much. I'm going to do that again. You're probably going to keep using either Sucker Punch or... That had to be a critical hit. Was that really just not a critical hit? You put yourself to sleep anyway, so it's a good thing that I didn't. But, let's see. If I use this 2 more times, I'm pretty sure you're not going to have a second full restore, but I should be able to get a decent amount of my HP back. Alright, so you're fast asleep. Don't know what you would have done, so let's count your moves. You have Fake Out, Sucker Punch, Night Slash, and Grass Knot, I think are your 4 moves. Alright. Fairly limited coverage there, but nevertheless. You're going to send out Semi-Seer. Okay, saw that one coming. That's going to cause you to take a bunch of damage from those Stealth Rocks. I feel like I don't know if I really have a safe switch here. So I think maybe, let me just switch in Line. Line, I'm sorry, you're going to be the cannon fodder of the day. You have 2 HP anyway, and you're as slow as rocks, so I'm not sure if you're really going to be able to do much in this fight, unless I use healing items, which I tend not to do in important battles like this. And I'm just going to use that to get myself a free switch. Okay, so on the off chance that you use, like, Flamethrower on Conkeldurr and Burn Conkeldurr or something like that, I'd appreciate that. Let's see, if you actually do that, I would thank you very highly, very muchly. No? Alright, the one time I did want Flamethrower to burn, it didn't happen, but that should be enough to take down the Semi-Seer, so you are down 2 Pokemon, I'm down 1. Not sure how much Zach is really going to be able to do from here on out, because, again, slow as rocks and having not a lot of HP left. Yeah, that's not gonna work at all. Fortunately, I don't think Swoobat really carries anything that can do anything to a Bug Steel type, so Augur, it's your turn. Let's see, you're gonna use Air Slash, which is gonna be a neutral hit, but my defenses, physical, and special should be high enough that, yeah, we can take that. And Iron Head. We're gonna play the flinching game, aren't we? Alright. Iron Head should be my strongest move, I think. Not quite enough to take you down. You can use Air Slash again, alright. That's got a 30% flinch chance, and we made that through the Iron Head, alright. Goodbye, Swoobat. That's half your team down. You have a Semi-Poor, a Semi-Seer, and I don't know what else, Zebstrika. Alright. So, Zebstrika is not weak to Stealth Rock, so you're just gonna take regular damage from that. You might have Flame Charge, but other than that, you're mostly electric moves, and if I switch back to Allison... Oh, no! You have Pursuit. Well, there goes that. If I switch back to Allison, you should be mostly like a dead duck against Allison. Honestly, Semi-Poor and Semi-Sage, Allison probably should match up fairly well against those as well. Giga Impact! Alright, I was expecting like a Flame Charge or something just because that's a super effective hit, but I guess Giga Impact is... It's gonna be a, well, not going to get to fight the last 2 elemental monkeys with you. Okay, wasn't expecting that. You've got a recharge turn. I am just going to open fire on you with an Earthquake. That should be enough to KO you. More than... Like, that should be more than a 1-hit KO on you. Really? I know you're level 77, but really? How? Let me say that again. How? Alright, whatever. Zach's going down. I have Nightshade and Gummy left. Nightshade also has super effective moves on both Semi-Sage and Semi-Poor, so I think a nice Bug Buzz... a nice Bug Buzz should be enough to finish off the Zebstrika. Okay. We're gonna get about half a bar of experience there. Semi-Poor. Let's see. I have Giga Drain for use against you, and that won't take you down. This isn't like Stab. It's not the strongest move. My special attack isn't the highest, but that should definitely be about half. All right, that raised your special attack, and you're using Payback. I don't follow the logic there. I don't know if Payback is going to be enough. I don't think Payback would have KO'd me without a critical hit there. Alright, that's gonna lower your attack. You probably have Scald, right? Acrobatics. So your special attack went up, and you haven't used a special move on me yet. I don't understand, but whatever you say, Game Freak, Morimoto. So Semi-Poor is gonna go down. I'm going to get most of the way to level 66 there. And Semi-Sage, your last Pokemon, I've got a nice Fire Fang and also an Ice Fang, but I think I'm gonna go with Fire Fang just because I can. Energy Ball. Okay. I am mildly uncomfortable here. Another Patea Berry raising your special attack. Fun fact, that is, I believe, based on the Dragon Fruit. I'm gonna have to heal here. I should have a regular revive. I can just use that on Nightshade, and you're gonna use Crunch. Okay, so that's probably gonna take Gummy down. Good job, Gummy. And I can just take my my Excel Horrors faster than basically everything else in the entire game at this point. You've got almost 200 points of speed, which is probably going to be meaning you're going to be going before just about everything else. And one final Bug Buzz is going to take Simi Sage down. Good game, Morimoto. Alright, you had the 10 level advantage there, but I was able to mostly get through that without too much issue, without using items. I do like this team. Going second in every single turn in the entire game is maybe a little bit, annoys me sometimes, but overall I definitely like this team. I feel like I can counter most things. It was fun. Alright, so you can do this once a day. This is, you can come back every single day and you can fight him and you can use that as some form of experience grinding if you really want. I think I'm gonna call it here. That's all I really wanted to do. There's one more thing I'd like to do in this game before heading off to remaster the Elite Four, and we're gonna take care of that next time. My name is Dragonite, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.